These bright cyclone engines come to life. The sound of round and the B-25 Banchito.
That's when you're going over
Craig once saw the movie Lady for the Night, in which the leading character owns a riverboat named the Memphis Belle. He proposed that name to his crew. Morgan then contacted George Petty at the offices of Esquire magazine and asked him for a pin-up drawing to go with the name, which Petty supplied for the magazine's April 1941 issue. The 91st group artist, Corporal Tony Starcer, copied the pretty girl as art on both sides of the forward fuselage, depicting her suit in blue on the aircraft's port side and in red on the starboard. This nose art later included 25 bomb shapes, one for each mission credit, and 8 swastika designs, one for each German aircraft claimed shot down by the crew. Ladies and gentlemen, the movie Memphis Belle, B-17. As of this year, 10 aircraft remain airworthy, though none of them were ever flown in combat. Dozens more are in storage or in static display. The oldest of these is the D series, flown in combat in the Pacific and the Caribbean. Decent flying history. Again, one of 10, B-17 still flying. A national treasure. The addition of this aircraft to the National Warplane Museum's already impressive collection draws visitors to Livingston County and the Finger Lakes region, and a great addition to the museum's world-class collection. We hope you get a chance to fly in her this weekend. Setting up for the last pass, your last chance to capture this rare bomber in the sky. Coming up, and we'll encourage you again to use the hashtag NYAirshow. Hashtag NYAirshow on social media at NYAirshow so that we can share, see your pictures, read your comments, your videos as well. Our last chance to see the airplane in the sky alone. Later we'll see it with the other 2 aircraft flying by. Ladies and gentlemen, the movie Memphis Belle, B-17. B-17, and very shortly the arrival of the B-25. In the aircraft that you see flying in front of you right now, the B-25, ladies and gentlemen, as it begins its demonstration now, the B-25. Unable to find the airfield in China, in bad weather, crews bailed out or ditched their aircraft. 2 men drowned after ditching. 1 died when his parachute malfunctioned. 8 were captured. 3 of these executed by a Japanese firing squad. 1 died from severe malnutrition. 4 came home, victims of torture and solitary confinement for 3.5 years. 56 raiders found themselves behind Japanese lines in occupied China. Friendly Chinese peasant farmers and militia assisted these airmen to evade the rampaging Japanese troops, who were infuriated and humiliated by American bombers bombing their capital. Japanese troops massacred an estimated 250,000 Chinese civilians in reprisal for the assistance given to the young American airmen. But suddenly the headlines across America boldly celebrated American bombers hitting Tokyo. Imagine the boost to the morale of the American public and military. Lieutenant Colonel Jimmy Doolittle was promoted to Brigadier General and awarded the Medal of Honor. All of the Raiders were given the Distinguished Flying Cross. For 71 years, the Raiders held a reunion on the anniversary of the raid and drank a toast to those that are gone from their now famous silver gauntlets. For the past 18 years, Panchito has had the honor of participating in many of these reunions. Only one of the Raiders survives today. Dick Cole, Jimmy Doolittle's co-pilot, celebrated his 103rd birthday last week. Dedicated to all those who served in the Second World War, Panchito, B-25 and the sound of those big radial engines. And coming up from the right, another photo pass. Our last pass, the B-20.
It was a long road to Tokyo and a bloody one. We shall not forget Pearl Harbor.
Ladies and gentlemen, our World War II veterans' average age now is in their mid to late 90s. Dick Cole, the last surviving Doolittle Raider, turned 103 last week. We have some World War II veterans. In fact, one of them was honored here earlier today. They're with us today to enjoy the sounds of history. And before they go, all they want to know is that we'll never forget. So while we have that opportunity, and they're with us here today, and Show Center, you'll notice the tents there, the group waiting to take your information if you'd like to climb aboard. This is flying history. And of course the B-17 doing the same thing all weekend long. The B-25 Panchito taxiing in. Give our crew a wave. Approaching from the left, B-17 setting up to recover. Jackie C. manufactured at the Curtis Buffalo, New York plant in 1943, and delivered that same year to the Royal Canadian Air Force. What a history she has, and the history that we're about to tell you all about. So built right here in New York, Curtis plants in 1943. She was delivered to the same year to the Royal Canadian Air Force, assigned to the RCAF Western Air Command, serial number AK-845, served in defense of Canada's west coast, eventually being utilized as a training aircraft for Operation Training Unit number 5. It would eventually be surplused in 1946. And then it went through a few things before finding its way to Farmingdale and Republic Field as part of the Climate Collection at the American Air Power Museum. The Curtis B-40 Warhawk is an American single-engine, single-seat, all-metal fighter and ground attack aircraft that first flew in 1938. The B-40 design was a modification of the previous Curtis B-30 fighter in World War II after the B-51 and the B-47. By November of 1944, production of the B-40 ceased. 13,738 have been built, all at Curtiss-Wright Corporation's main production facilities at Buffalo, New York. The B-40 Warhawk was the name the United States Army Air Corps named it. After 1941, they adopted the name for all models, making it the official name in the U.S. for all B-40s. The British Commonwealth and Soviet Air Forces used the name Tomahawk for models of the B-40B and the B-40C, and the name Kitty Hawk for models equivalent to the B-40D in all later variants. They saw combat first with the British Commonwealth squadrons of the Desert Air Force in the Middle East, North Africa campaigns during 1941. Number 112 Squadron of the Royal Air Force was among the first to operate Tomahawks in North Africa. The unit was first Allied military aviation unit to feature the shark-mouth logo, copying similar markings on some Luftwaffe Messerschmitt Bf-110 twin-engine fighters. Well, the B-40's lack of two-speed supercharger made it inferior to Luftwaffe fighters, such as the Messerschmitt Bf-109. Like many airshow pilots, Mike's passion for aviation started when he was very young. Mike's dad took him to his first airshow at their hometown in Iowa at the age of 10. That show made an everlasting impression so deep that at 14, Mike rode his bike to the airport for 2 weeks straight and bugged the owner for a job washing airplanes and cleaning hangars just to be around airplanes. In school, Mike had a teacher tell him that he'd never be a pilot. His grades weren't great, he was getting into trouble a lot, and later that year, a tutor gave him a book called The Little Engine That Could by Ronnie Pike. That helped Mike believe in himself. He traded his work for washing airplanes for flying lessons, received his pilot's license on his 17th birthday. And these 38 years later, Mike has accumulated more than 24,000 flight hours and is qualified in more than 40 different aircraft. He keeps a busy schedule flying for corporate America, as well as keeping a full-time air show schedule flying the Lucas Oil stunt plane. Mike says it's incredibly a part of the Lucas Oil team, as well as their integrity make what he does even more rewarding. It wasn't easy getting to where he is today, and as Mike would attest, he fought battles every day. Things didn't always turn out the way he planned. But with each year, he believes that one of the biggest impacts in his life and the lives around him was his attitude. With everything he's experienced as a pilot, a businessman, husband, and father, Mike still admits to making mistakes every day, but he doesn't want to miss the opportunity to pass on the same.
I just like to get down low, get down dirty. This is fun stuff. We're going to come back around the other side. I'll look at these guys. It looks good to me. And we're going to come around, fly underneath us the first pass. Hey, look at these trees, huh?
Oh, Mike, you send me to the fetal position. I want to get down on the ground and cry. So you are going to actually sever that right side up?
Let's go underneath it and look at it. I want to make sure the bottom of the ribbons are in good shape. Let's see here.
He's going to check the bottom of the ribbon first. Flying under it. Get your cameras ready.
And they need to hold it a little.
I am not surprised that you would choose inverted. For those who don't know, he's going to do it upside down. But that's a biplane, Mike.
It is. It's one of the most high performance ones around. I've had this airplane for a lot of years. I've had it all over the world. Was even on the U.S. aerobatic team with it. And I bought it on eBay. Can you believe that?
You bought it on eBay and then put it back together.
That was messed up pretty good when they bought it on eBay. Okay, I'm going to line up with it here. Smoke's on. Let's get in line with everybody. I'm going to get down here. Find the target. There it is. Boom!
Unbelievable.
Woo!
Outstanding, Mike. And I don't think you're quite done yet, are you?
No, we're just starting out here. There's a hover turnaround. Airplane actually stops in the air.
Now, you can't stay stopped too long. You got to keep flying.
Yeah, the engine gets too hot. Otherwise, they just sit there for a while. Very cool. That was fun. Let's go down here at the end of the runway. Give it a little distance. I said roll. So much. Okay, one roll. Average go vertical.
Oh, up he goes with a high G pull.
Now we're going to try to build up a bunch of speed. I'm going to do something an airplane's not supposed to do. A forward somersault.
Say again, a forward somersault.
A forward somersault. Hang on. Build up some speed, or as we call it, smash. Pull vertical. Okay, that was about 70. Okay, right there. Now, I'm going to kick right rudder. Come across. Push the stick forward. Come on, baby. Talk to me.
Unbelievable, Mike. That looked perfect. Tell me you're not dizzy after that. You floated like zero G, like a spaceman for a moment there, and now you're...
I can.
Having a conversation while flying these aggressive aerobatics. Amazing stuff from Mike Wiskus.
Okay, we're going to come around and do a bit.
Always say I can. I got it, brother.
And this is a torque roll. Let's dive in for some speed now. Right at the center of the show. I love this country. Let me tell you, who else lets people do what we're doing? This is fantastic. Okay, there's 225 right there. Right down to the surface, I'm going to pull 8 Gs. Oh, that's hard. Start rolling. Just keep rolling. Don't stop rolling.
He's never going to give up. He's going to fight it. He's going to take on gravity. Round and round he goes. Gravity's starting to win. He isn't giving up. He's still rolling the airplane.
There we go. Woo.
Wow. Unbelievable flying, Mike. And to safely put the spinner into Steve's hand, who will be standing out in show center in front of you. You can see him right now as he prepares for the scary moment of seeing Kent's great big smile and bald head staring right at him with a big grin, in hopes that he hasn't got too much energy and mows him over, or that he falls short and has to push the airplane to get to him, but that he does it precisely and safely. So graceful and beautiful to watch. and very quiet in that cockpit right now. Normally he has about 90 horsepower to play with, not a whole lot, but again, the airplane is not purpose-built to be a glider or an aerobatic performer, but when you know what you're doing and you put it precisely on the numbers, this is the kind of flying you can accomplish. Now you can see that propeller is stopped, and at times we can actually hear the air going over the wings. Listen to the airplane. It's amazing. Like the desert wind. Can you hear that? Believe me, that's the sound a motor pilot never wants to hear. Now, does he have enough energy to get to Steve over here? County Executive, Orange County. Kent's got to get turned around now. Not way up in the air like that, down a little bit. We'll get his arm down just a bit so that Kent can see you and not drive right over you. It is a tail dragger after all. Oh my! Does Kent have enough energy now to get to where Steve is? With those squeaky old 1942 tires and wheels, has he managed it precisely enough from a mile above us without power and continuous aerobatics?
From your right, Major Kimmel, and from the left, Major Collins, inbound for show center at a closing speed of nearly 1,000 miles per hour. Before meeting, they'll bank sharply, narrowly avoiding each other for the opposing knife-edge pass. Back to the Thunderbird Diamond Formation.
return for grace. It's a beautiful day. Got no destination in the mind. In the maze of her imagination, loving style.
As they prepare for the meticulous line of rest at Diamond Loop. Now watch from your left as Thunderbird 5 displays the historic Thunderbird emblem on the bottom. Now from low and to the right, count along with Thunderbird 5 as he performs a... Inbound now from the left, Major Kimmel will demonstrate the extraordinary roll performance. This diamond is now approaching from your right. This is a rare opportunity to go inside the cockpit of Thunderbird 1 as Lieutenant. As we fly free today, we are proud to represent America's Air Force. We lead the fight with innovation and unparalleled readiness, and we are the most lethal Air Force on the planet. Now look back to your right and find Thunderbirds 5 and 6, teamed up this time to create a mirror image in their... 20% skill, 15% concentrated, 50% pleasure, 50% pain, 100% reason to remember the name. Check 6 and watch as our solo pilots come 2018 Thunderbird Diamond Pass in review.
Just as free as just as free as we'll ever be.
Our solo pilots are shutting in the 11-run dominating shutout the Yankees had over the Blue Jays last night.
You should know I ain't blue, but I ain't a freak though. But I got a gang of walking with my flick though.
Ladies and gentlemen, look back to your right. It's the Diamond. Gear down, laps down. Above them and exceptional climbing performance of the F-16 as he climbs 15,000 feet straight up. repositions the Delta formation for the Delta roll. As you take time to watch the precision required to maneuver 6 F-16s as one formation, let it serve as a reminder of not just the teamwork, but also the dedication and commitment that makes our team and the United States Air Force the most capable and credible force on the planet. As the Delta soars above, we are proud to represent the more than 20,000 airmen who are deployed around the world in defense of our freedoms. While our airmen, soldiers, sailors, F-16s fly towards Show Center to showcase teamwork at its finest with the Delta Formation Loop. From the right, the reflection pass. Ladies and gentlemen, as Thunderbirds 5 and 6 rejoin the diamond and reposition for the Delta pitch to land, we hope you have found today's performance inspirational. It is the culmination of hundreds of hours of training and preparation, representing the unparalleled devotion to duty of every combat airman in your Air Force. We encourage those young people in the audience today to dream big, choose integrity, to serve their communities and families, and surround themselves with excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, we hope you've enjoyed today's flying demonstration as we celebrate the unwavering commitment and dedication of your United States Airmen. As our F-16s come into land, we'd like to thank you for your continued support of the United States military and the Air Force. It has been our great honor to represent America's Airmen with our performance today. Once the jets have taxied back and our engines are shut down at Show 7, the Thunderbird officers and enlisted representatives are planning on coming forward for signatures. We'd be glad to sign some autographs and talk about the great opportunities that exist in today's Air Force. This will take place along the crowd line at Show Center. Take some selfies and let us answer any questions you may have about serving this great nation. If you can't stick around, please visit us at afthunderbirds.com. or follow us on any of the social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter at AF Thunderbirds.